because Sir Charles Jones, Anybody Lonely, that was in the early 2000s. Okay. So if you want to argue Sir Charles Jones being in the second resurrection, you might have somewhat of an argument. However, the second resurrection actually began with Stand Up In It, because that was the biggest song that started the new era of Southern Soul.
Makes sense.
To answer your question there, MacBees.
Absolutely. And that would be the perfect song to start the new era of Southern Soul. Stand Up In It, because that's the subject matter for a lot of the material.
Yeah.
Sure
We got
is.
Hit It From the Back. We got 5 women. I got one to hold me up, one to hold me down. You got Stand Up In It. You got to make it talk, make it jump, make it shout. You got all kind of songs right now. And it makes sense that's where it started from, because you got Hit It From the Back, Sit Down on It, Ride It Like a Pony. You got all kind of stuff that I can see now how I could stem from You Gotta Stand Up In It. Because it was pretty graphic. He was in there talking about you can look at it, play with it, do whatever you want, but you ain't did nothing till you stand up in it. And then he did the old man laugh at the end. He said, ha, 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 at the end of the song. Every time I hear that song.
Welcome to Southern Soul EZP. I'm your host, EZP, and I'm joined by my co-host Shell from Magic108fm.com and MacBeats from the Hotboxfm.com. Tonight,
That's good.
We're talking about
Day and night.
We're talking about Sir Charles Jones, the leader of Southern Soul.
Yeah,
He's the Southern Soul master. And of course we've done a whole lot of hyperbole regarding all of the artists that we've done specials on, exposés on, and we've done these adjectives to describe their greatness, because all of them are great, and that's the whole point of what we're talking about tonight. Is Sir Charles Jones the king of Southern Soul, or is he the king of Southern Soul? And I want to break this down before I bring in my guest. There are two resurrections. There's the first resurrection of Southern Soul, which involves all the past masters of soul, Sam and Dave. It would be Johnny Taylor, the staple singers. Even though they were in Chicago, they all migrated north. Artists of that stature that are no longer with us, like Mel Waiters, people of that kind. That's the first resurrection, and they are great. Sir Charles is actually in the first resurrection. He's in the first resurrection, and of course he's in his early 50s, and the question becomes, is he the real king today of Southern Soul, or is it King George? Is it Tucker? Is it Pokey Bear? Okay, who is the real king? That's what we want to talk about today.
All right.
And I just wanted to throw that out there before we got started. The floor is open.
Well, I think he is one of the originals. You know, King George, he has a lot of hits, but he ain't been around long enough to be the quote unquote king, you know, of Southern Soul. You know, he paid some dues, but he ain't paid him like Sir Charles Jones. Same with Pokey Bear. He's been around quite a while as well, but nobody's paid the dues like Sir Charles Jones. Tucker either. He's the king of swing. You know. Yeah.
Now, when we talk about Theodis Ely, he just slides into that blues category.
Yeah.
In my opinion, my humble opinion, and I
Right.
called him a king of Southern soul, and we can't recant that, because now he, with Stand Up In It, he started the second resurrection. He started the second resurrection of Southern soul, and these terms you've heard first resurrection, second resurrection. You've heard them first here on Southern Soul EZP, and they will be commonplace vernacular to describe the old and the new.
Right.
Because some of us are no longer with us. Some of us, many of us that started the first resurrection of Southern Soul are not together or not with us anymore.
Yeah.
So we have to differentiate to find out exactly who is in control and on top.
Well, it's really, in my humble opinion, it really doesn't matter who's on top. To me, I'm just saying, because it all sounds great. I love Southern Soul. It doesn't matter to me who the king is, or the prince, or the sir, or whoever. It doesn't make that much difference to me. I just love it all. I love all those people you said.
Of course, we all love it all. But the question becomes, because we all love it all, are we in a genre full of kings? Is everybody a king? J1 to King George to Jeter Jones.
You're the king of the trail ride.
OC Soul. Is everybody a king? I want you to answer that question for me, ladies and gentlemen. Who is the actual king?
And when did the second resurrection start?
The second resurrection started unofficially with Theodis Ely and Stand Up In It.
And that was about 2005, I believe.
That's the second resurrection, because after that song, Stand Up In It, and see, we can argue that being incorrect, because Sir Charles Jones, Anybody Lonely, that was in the early 2000s. Okay. So if you want to argue Sir Charles Jones being in the second resurrection, you might have somewhat of an argument. However, the second resurrection actually began with Stand Up In It, because that was the biggest song that started the new era of Southern Soul.
Makes sense.
To answer your question there, MacBeast.
Absolutely. And that would be the perfect song to start the new era of Southern Soul. Stand Up In It, because that's the subject matter for a lot of the material.
Yeah.
We got Hit It From The Back. We got 5 women. I got one to hold me up, one to hold me down. You got Stand Up In It. You got to make it talk, make it jump, make it shout. You got all kind of songs right now. And it makes sense that's where it started from, because you got Hit It From The Back, sit down on it, ride it like a pony. You got all kind of stuff that I can see now how I could stem from You Gotta Stand Up In It. Because it was pretty graphic. He was in there talking about you can look at it, play with it, do whatever you want, but you ain't did nothing till you stand up in it. And then he did the old man laugh at the end. He said, ha, 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 at the end of the song. Every time I hear that song,
that's the reason why that great analogy. That's the reason why I love Southern Soul, because it's so tongue-in-cheek. The lyrics are so explosive and they're so engaging that people just fall in love with the artists and the music, because it's actually real from their perspective. It's not conjured up. It's not like today's R&B. that is so mechanical, is so digital. It's mechanical and digital all in one. And Southern Soul brings us back to our roots, our R&B roots, our jazz roots, our blues roots, our gospel roots. It just brings us there and keeps us there with all different genres from 24 up to 65. Very unique in that way. And we really appreciate it at Southern Soul, ATLFM.com, where we play 24/7, 365, the absolute best Southern Soul in America.
And speaking of playing, we are playing Pour Me a Drink by Sir Charles Jones. Man, that is hot.
Oh, I like Pour Me a Drink.
I love that
I
song.
do.
Pour
I
Me
do.
a Drink. And that song sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot of them I like. You know, I like Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Friday is a great song.
Mm-hmm.
I can't choose, man. Country Boy. I think that's somebody did Mississippi Boy, but Country Boy, yeah. Be With You. You know, Call on Me. That was Calvin Richardson. He did one with Pokey Bear. Wherever I Lay My Bone. Man, that is just everybody like that song. A lot of people like that song.
Sir Charles Jones is the king of Southern Soul in the first resurrection. In the second resurrection, we love Sir Charles Jones. He's coming up in an expose that we're going to do, and you're going to really like it. I think you're going to love this expose. The only bite that Sir Charles Jones has to experience is a slight bite. It's a nibble. But it seems as though when he performs with other performers, especially of the second resurrection,
Okay.
he doesn't come off as strong in concert as let me finish,
Okay.
as some of the strongest performers that are in the genre. When he comes on last, you know, you have to be able to carry the crowd, to take it home for that last performer. And many times I'm hearing that on the road, Sir Charles Jones has a little trouble from some of the other big second resurrection Southern Soul stars.
Yeah, like a second resurrection, Fat Daddy, which he did the Mailman with. That's the song that you like, that Mailman.
Mm-hmm.
And Fat Daddy has a real strong voice, and he got some nice songs. So I like to call Sir Charles Jones. He's like
Balladeer.
There you go. There you go. That's what I.
A lot of his songs are ballads, and they're
yeah.
super strong because he's the most emotional vocalist I have ever heard. I was sitting here listening to one of his songs, Latest Greatest Inspiration, and he did that off of cover off Teddy Pendergrass. And man, I was sitting there almost crying the way he was singing that song. It was everything that when you listen to him, you get emotional. You can't help it. He's just that emotional. Extremely talented, amazing regarding his feelings and how he puts a song over.
Yeah.
So let's check out this piece.
Okay, let's go.
Charles Jones Jr. was born in Akron, Ohio on April 25th, 1973. His father, Charles Jones Sr., was a regional gospel singer, writer, and pianist. And his mother, Blanche, originally from Birmingham, Alabama, was a longtime civil rights activist. When his parents divorced in the early 80s, Charles moved with his mother and 4 brothers to Birmingham, Alabama. Charles was called the Little Stevie Wonder at the time as a nickname, as a small boy in the Avondale projects of Birmingham. Charles's mother, who worked 3 jobs, eventually bought a house in Ensley, Alabama, a little suburb outside of Birmingham. where Charles spent his high school years as a self-titled gangbanger. Disappointing his mother, never graduating from high school, he did bond with a Inslee High School band teacher after working menial jobs with his brothers after dropping out. One of his bosses heard him singing and suggested that Charles try out at a local club named the French Quarters. Charles began singing on the weekends for $75 a night. And one evening, the club announcer, not knowing how to title Sir Charles Jones's name, called him Sir Charles, and that moniker actually stuck. From 1994 to 1999, Jones toured as a background singer with composer Marvin Cease across the South. He then relocated to Jackson, Mississippi, where his debut album, Sir Charles Jones, was released in 2000. Jones's sophomore album, The Love Machine, spent 57 weeks on the Billboard Top R&B Hip Hop Albums chart. It peaked at number 28. Other Jones hits include Friday, Is Anybody Lonely, Just Can't Let Go, For Better or Worse, Just Like Fire. Then in 2008, he came out with My Story album, which included ballads like Happy Anniversary, You're My Latest, My Greatest Inspiration, which is a very nice cover for Teddy Pendergrass, and the dance jam I Came to Party, which charted on the Billboard U.S. Blues chart. The music DVD, Sir Charles Jones, His Life and Times, The Undisputed King of Southern Soul, A Southern Soul Party, peaked at number 11 on the U.S. Blues chart in 2010, and in 2014 he released the album Portrait of a Balladeer. Sir Charles Jones and the Family album, Volume 1, issued in 2019, capped his second full decade of recording and featured contributions from his children, Charlicia and Charles III. All along, Jones has been a busy touring musician with headlining gigs and appearances at soul and blues festivals. From 2018 to 2021, Jones released 6 albums. The Masterpiece on his label, Southern King Entertainment, Southern Jones and Family Volume 1 in 2019, Intimacy in 2020, The Jones Boys, Two Kings in 2020. That was a collaborative project with Jeter Jones, The Chosen One in 2021, and Caught Cheating in 2021. Sir Charles Jones taught himself on how to write his own music as well as arrange and produce. In his early career, he worked under the guidance and tutelage of Marvin Cease, and his style ranges from jazz to fusion, gospel and blues, and R&B. His first album, Sir Charles Jones, was released in 2000. His music is very sensual and emotional. The Love Machine spent 57 weeks on U.S. Billboard Top R&B Hip Hop Albums chart, where it peaked at number 28 in June 2002. Living Blues credited the ballad Is There Anybody Lonely for increasing the attention on Jones by soul and blues radio. Now in 2003, Sir Charles Jones was in a motorcycle accident and was left in a coma for several days. After a long and full recovery, he released Thank You for Holding On in 2006. 2 years later, he released a compilation album, My Story, and a music DVD, Sir Charles Jones, His Life and Time, The Undisputed King of Southern Soul. However, Sir Charles Jones did not just click automatically. When he first introduced his album to Malaco Records, they were looking at him like, no, you're too young to sing this hard-earned blues that an older man would possibly sing. A 26-year-old dude singing the blues? No 26-year-old knows about the blues, according to Malaco. Singer-songwriter Senator Jones, a.k.a. Uncle Bobo, began playing Sir Charles Jones tunes on the debut disc, which became popular in the Delta. Meanwhile, Charles and Senator Jones continued to collaborate for the release of Love Machine, which would debut on Warren Hildebrand's New Orleans-based Mardi Gras Records in 2001. And it will become the biggest album released by the label to date. Meanwhile, another artist in the Senator Jones stable, a DJ from Chicago named The Love Doctor, R.I.P., had a hit single with Slow Roll It, written by Charles and released in 2001. Slow Roller became one of the 2 or 3 undisputed Southern Soul classics of the new millennium, played on Southern Soul ATLFM.com, a compilation album including The Love Doctor and other new artists whose styles had been influenced by Sir Charles, gained an enthusiastic response while spawning 2 solid Jones hits, The Letter Guilty and The Same Thing It Took to Get Her. The CD My Story, Mardi Gras 2008, marked Jones's most accomplished set of new material since Love Machine, including the ballads Happy Anniversary and one of my favorites, You're My Latest, My Greatest Inspiration, and the dance jam I Came to Party. With its acoustic sound and lush string choruses, Happy Anniversary in particular marked a post-Love Machine peak and major step forward in Jones's evolving stylistic approach. Sir Charles Jones must continue kicking the hits out in the evolving Southern soul music arena because there are new performers that are drawing big crowds, aka King George, aka Tucker, aka Pokey Bear. Sir Charles Jones, the reigning king of Southern soul. Blues icon from St. Louis and industry great Gene Norman speaking on Sir Charles Jones. Well, tell me a little bit about Sir Charles.
Well, Sir Charles, like I said, he's been around for a long time. I went to see him a few times, and he's always a good performer, as far as I'm concerned, you know. So, but like I said, I don't think he got the credit that he deserved, you know. But last 3 or 4 songs that they've been played in St. Louis, I was fortunate enough to get them one way or the other. And I know the new song, I think I probably sent to you. And let's go get a drink. But Sir Charles is a good artist. I like him.
Right. And your favorite song? What's your favorite song by him?
He's really mad and lonely, of course. And I Came to Party. That came out just a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago. I heard it at another radio station, of course, and I liked that one. And those are some of the top songs that I really like. That always stuck with me.
Yeah. So tell me the name of your radio station.
Gino FM Blues. If you go to your favorite browser, just say Gino FM Blues. That's the easy way to find me. 24/7.
Awesome.
I always listen to Easy Pearl.
All right. And we're back again.
Right.
Sir Charles Jones. We went and dug a little deep. Got a little stuff up in there. You know, little dirt under your fingernails and Southern soul grind.
Yeah.
So it was nice. Just it begs the question, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking to you right now. Who is your king of Southern soul? First resurrection and second resurrection, because you can do both resurrections, to be fair, because some of us are no longer with us and they can't perform no more, but we still know Cheaper the Keeper. We still know Got My Whiskey.
Yeah, the hole in the wall.
We still know the greats of Southern soul that are no longer with us, and we would like to appreciate them too. So we'd like your comments and tell us what you think.
Yeah, do that, y'all.
Yeah. And remember, jab that like button, slap on that comment button, and karate chump that subscribe button. And remember, you ain't did nothing till you stand up in it.
That's right. Subscribe. Comment. Yes. Hit that like button. Be sure to share it with somebody. Yeah, go on and share it too.
Give that Southern soul gift of Southern soul.
Yeah.
EZP and Southern Soul, ATLFM.com. Bye, y'all. We interrupt this program to bring you some urgent news from Sir Charles Jones.
What's happening, everybody? Been getting a lot of fan mail about people asking me, Sir Charles, why aren't you putting out an album or why you doing singles? And, you know, I never lied to my fans because they've been so good to me. The reason why I put out singles now is because the industry has changed from back in the days when I was first into the game, you know what I'm saying, with CDs and everything. Everybody was used to that. Now the industry has gone digital. And now the distributors and the label situations now, they operate by this thing called streams. And streams are more digital internet-based type stuff, and they don't believe in putting promotion money behind what we do. So basically what we do now is go in our own pockets to give y'all the music that y'all been hearing, but we can only do it by singles at a time because it takes thousands to millions of dollars to promote one single to, you know, be a hit record. And they don't believe in that because they feel that the fan base of Southern Soul don't support us with buying streams or going to Apple Music, to Spotify and stuff. And it's not that they don't want to support us. You know, a lot of that new technology, a lot of people don't understand and know about getting accounts with Spotify and Apple Music and stuff like that. And so they feel like it's not a good investment to put money behind helping us with the promotions unless we sign a deal to them and basically signing your fucking life away. And you off into a bunch of contracts and a bunch of messed up stuff. And then they want to put money behind radio and doing that, but then the artist is the last person to benefit out of that. So singles at a time, and mostly everything that I've been giving y'all, I do it out of my pocket, and it's very, very expensive. And that's the reason why I do singles, but you know, I always put out good singles, and I hope y'all continue. But if you want to help me, you know what I'm saying, go to Spotify, go to Apple Music, and, you know, stream some of my new music or download it. That's how it helps me more than bootlegging it, for one. But just to answer to y'all, you know, I don't feel that independent, you know, the labels or distributors, you know, they don't got our backs on that. And I've never been happy with that situation, and I don't care if they hear what I'm saying right now because they don't help me. And that's my answer to y'all. So I hope y'all go and find out how to stream